Okay, welcome back. In this video we'll be adding the holes to one side of our step, and then we will be mirroring those holes across the right sketch plane here to get them on the other side. So to do that, we're going to Shift S, and we want to draw our sketch on one side. I'm picking the right side, so the right side of our step. We are going to hit N to view sketch normal to sketch plane, and now we're going to put a hole. And the way that we put a hole, all holes start with a coordinate, and that coordinate is always placed, if you think about it as a piece of graph paper, on a coordinate scale X, Y. So in two-dimensional space, we have these things up here that we call points in our drawings, and those just limit us to where we want to put those points. So I want to drop a point, and this will be the center of our hole. So I'm going to drop a point that is vertically placed on this midpoint, and then on that same axis I'm going to come over and drop a second point. And now I need to dimension these points are going to be vertical and horizontally placed perfectly for us. So the next thing I want to do is dimension them. So I'm going to dimension these parts. The distance from the top, or from the center point of the hole to the bottom of our step, is going to be 20 millimeters. And then this particular hole here from the end point, so I'm going to select the hole because that's what I want to move, and I'm going to come and select the outer part of the step. And I want that to be 50 millimeters from the end. This hole is perfectly placed. I want that right with the midpoint of my step. After this, I'm going to go ahead and accept it. And now I have my points ready to apply my hole feature. So along the quick access toolbar, come right next to the shell feature or left of the pattern feature, and we have our commands, and we have our hole command. So in our hole, we want to make sure that we have a simple hole that is blind. So I think yours is probably going to be through because of what we've done earlier, but you want to switch it to blind. You're going to need an ISO, clearance, M10, normal, 11 millimeters, and 5 millimeters. So the sketch points, I'm just going to pick the sketch here, and it will give me those. My merge scope is going to be my step. If your merge scope says part, then you need to come down to the parts feature tree here and select step. Once I have that, I will accept it, and now I have my holes that are just simple holes through my component, and I'm ready to mirror those parts. And so the way that I mirror a part, again, come along to the quick access toolbar, find the mirror, and I'm not mirroring a part. Right now I only have the step still as my part, so I want to make sure that I drop this to a feature. I'm mirroring just a feature within this part, and the feature that I want to mirror is this hole, the drawing. So that's my two holes. My mirror plane, I want to mirror this equally, and there is a plane in the center that we drew it on, which is the right plane. So if you select the right plane, you can see how this is perfectly placed in the center. It will give you a preview on the opposing side. Here's the side I drew it on. Here is the mirror feature. And this is exactly where I want it. So I can now accept it, and I have my holes. All right, that is almost it. We're going to come back and add the arced portion that we have, which is the metal frame. So when the step folds up, it fits perfectly over the metal frame. I will see you all in a bit for our last drawing.